Welcome back, class. Excuse my voice, as you know from last class. I am having a hard time with my voice, so please bear with me. First thing you need to do is take out your exploration note packet. You need to be at the part that says Day 2, right here. So pause until you have that taken care of. Today we're going to look at the two big American empires that existed at this time, the Aztecs and the Incas. First, we'll look at the Aztecs. And then we will look at the Incas. So, first, we have the Aztecs in what today would be Mexico. And they will be fighting what are known as the conquistadors, or the conquerors in Spanish. So the leaders are Hernando Cortez for the Spanish, and Montezuma II was the Aztec leader. We're going to get more in detail with this later, but here's the short version. The Spanish discover this amazing Aztec civilization. It's very advanced. It's a large empire in the area of what today is Mexico City, which ends up growing into most of what today is Mexico. The Spanish show up, and they see the gold and riches that the Aztecs have and decide they want it. So Cortez is going to end up winning in the long run because he has superior weapons. It wouldn't be fair to say the Spanish were more advanced, but they did have better weapons. They have muskets or guns and cannons, plus horses. And they're fighting an enemy that has bows and arrows and no large animals for cavalry like horses. In addition, the Aztecs had been taking over the other local tribes, and so they had a lot of tribes who were their enemies. So it was easy for the Spanish to get help from these other tribes, which is how they got all their information and were able to locate different places in the Aztec Empire. And then finally, and this was totally an accident, Spanish had no idea they were even doing this, diseases came with the Spanish because the Aztecs had never been exposed to these germs, and so they did not have an immunity. The worst of these was smallpox, and they end up wiping out huge numbers of these natives totally on accident by passing diseases to them. In less than 1 century, so under 100 years, Central America's native population was reduced to 1/25 of the size. So, for example, that would be if all the United States except Pennsylvania disappeared, or if all of England except for London disappeared. Or, in a more closer to home example, it'd be like if South Lakes High School was down to 4 classes. So you will see exactly what Cortez did to conquer the Aztecs in a minute. Now let's take a little short look at the Incas, located in South America. Aztecs were North America in today's country of Mexico. Inca are in South America in today's countries of Chile and Peru. So we have the Inca versus the conquistadors. Pizarro is the Spanish leader. Atahualpa is the Incan leader. The Incas didn't take the Spanish very seriously at first, because they didn't have very many soldiers. But again, they're going to be coming with horses and way more powerful weapons. And the Spanish are going to win again for similar reasons. The Spanish are going to sort of trick the Incas. So they're going to kidnap Atahualpa. The Incas were not particularly surprised by this. When they are asked to pay for his release, they do. They give up more gold and silver than the Spanish have ever seen before. So the Inca deliver that. The Spanish say, wow, this is amazing. Pizarro is then going to kill Atahualpa. And that is the beginning of the end for the Inca. And again, in a few minutes, you will see exactly what happened to them. This is Machu Picchu. Probably the most famous and most stunning of their cities that is left. It's on the mountaintop, like many Inca cities. They're famous for having all these roads that run through the mountains that connect all the way through the Andes. So you can still go and visit today. Now, the results of the Spanish taking over all these places in the Americas, which, as we know, the first Spaniard to start taking over places in the Americas was Columbus. But then these other fellows we've looked at, particularly Cortez and Pizarro, leads to some cultural blending and more specifically race blending. We have a group of people called mestizo, which come about, and we will look more in detail at this later as well. But these are people who are a mix of European parent and native parent. So you have one parent who is European, one that is female, or one that is native, sorry. So half European, half native. We also have the word mulatto, which is if one parent is European and one is African. So, in the Americas, as we will see next class, the Africans are going to be slaves. And that is where you're going to get this, from the Europeans having children with slaves. Now, leave you with one question you need to answer in your packet. What religion are the people of Central and South America today? So think about it. Who conquered Central and South America? So you need to say what religion and why. And when you're finished with that, you need to complete your map that's also in your packet. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand and ask, or make a little note and ask when you're finished.